As we move into city status in Perth, part of our strength is the intellectual property and the intellectual value that we have here in the area as well. To say a few words on that topic, today we're delighted that we have the Provost of Perth, Dr. John Hilbert, in the studio. Provost, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Two areas you feel very important with regards to our intellectual value in Perthshire as a city and a leading region in Scotland and in the UK. Perth College UHI and the Royal Scottish Geographical Society. Would you like to give us a couple of views on that?
Yeah, I think, yes, indeed. I think that for any place to call itself a city and to be a city needs to have some intellectual weight behind it. And the fact that we now have the biggest part, incidentally, of the UHI, the University of the Highlands Islands, established in Perth, a gateway to the Highlands here in Perth, is very, very important. It provides that intellectual weight. We have some very high quality work going on there, especially with Matthew Price and the mountain studies courses that he runs and the research that he does. And there are others as well. And then we also have the Royal Scottish Geographical Society. Now, we put in a lot of effort to attracting the RSGS to Perth. They were in Glasgow. They wanted to move out of their premises there, and they looked around a large number of places. And the Fairmaid's House and Lord John Murray's house were available, and they were delighted to come. And that provides a separate intellectual base in Perth. We could do with more. Don't get me wrong. We could do with more of these organisations establishing in Perth to give it that breadth, intellectual breadth and depth, which UHI and RSGS do to a very great extent, but we could do with more.
What else would you like to see?
Well, we're having a conference of the Scottish Economic Society here in April. Now, the Scottish Economic Society is an organisation which has similarities to the RSGS. It's international in its membership, as is the RSGS. The current chairman of the Scottish Economic Society is a German professor, and very many Germans are in the Scottish Economic Society, and that is able to happen because it is not London dominated or London based. Now, I would love to see the Scottish Economic Society have a permanent base in Perth, and I have actually suggested that to them. But largely the base that they use is the university wherever their chairman is. The previous chairman was Robert Wright, who was a professor or is a professor in Strathclyde, and a large amount of the work went on in his department. Now it's in Hamburg University, and a large amount of the work goes on there. But it's still the Scottish Economic Society. They have their annual conference here in Perth every year. They run a schools event, which until recently has been run either in Edinburgh or Glasgow. But for the first time this year, 2012, it'll be run in Perth in the concert hall in November. And schools from all over Scotland send pupils who are interested in economics, and they have this two-day event here in Perth. Well, this time it will be in Perth. So that's another organisation which is gravitating towards Perth, and I would love to see its headquarters established here.
Great. Provost, thank you for your time.
Thank you.